Perfect. Okay, so we'll just try to get him a square, at least in the front. Oh, good boy. Okay, perfect. All right, and just nose straight.
Nope, not.
I might have just got, I think I just got. Yeah. Okay, and then face the other direction. Okay.
So like that. Those front toes. Oh, perfect. Come on. Get that leg. There you go. No, now you're off.
That's okay. All right, and now I'll just have him face the vehicle. So I'm going to take one straight over the back. Perfect. Wow, look at that booty. That's a booty and a half.
Yeah. I call that his Kim K booty.
Oh, he sure does.
Get a little square.
That's it. You were mentioning in your intake form how he's having some troubles getting up into the trot from the walk.
Yeah, so he did have chiro done a couple weeks ago, and that seemed to help quite a bit.
Okay.
He's definitely moving a lot freer now. He doesn't seem so locked up. So we're just covering all of our bases. But
okay. Do you want to flip him around and just face me if you don't mind?
So last spring he had that issue where he was kind of like throwing his head, just objecting anytime he had to go into his trot.
Yeah.
And so last year it was actually fixed immediately by just getting him a wider saddle because he was fixing it.
Yes, right. You had some saddle.
Yeah. So that's what I kind of just assumed this year, because when I went on to him bareback, he was totally fine. But then recently I went on him bareback and tried to trot again, and he started doing the same behaviors. But just like him. Mm-hmm. She's not trying to clean them.
Oh, I know. This is always confusing. Here.
Good boy.
Okay. I'm just going to be a little bit picky about these. I just need to take a picture of the sternum.
And he is getting a trim Wednesday as well.
Okay. Cool, cool. Hi.
That's okay.
Yeah. Everybody loves to chew on the hat. That's why it's so dirty.
Mm.
But that's okay. All right. I'm just going to do a couple of palpations just around the body to see if there's any reactivity. So it's like a low-grade electromagnetic frequency pulse that just encourages microcirculation in the tissue. So just to deliver nutrients and oxygen and all that stuff. So generally they quite like it. It's relaxing.
Yeah, he's had a blanket on before, so I know he doesn't really care about that.
I'm just looking for reactivity. Yeah, good. A little bit in the neck.
Yeah, it seems to be more his, I think it's left side than the right. Because I know before he got cracked, his toe, it was like his hip was dragging. And then afterwards, it seemed like he opened up a lot more.
Okay.
But I think obviously if he's been out of place for a while, the muscles and stuff will compensate and stuff like that. So
yeah.
You do look like you've gained a little bit of weight too.
How tall do you figure he is?
16.
Okay, I'm just gonna fill out my little.
Going out again. You were definitely gaining more weight.
Like I'm preparing. He does look like he could stand to lose. 50.
Jeez, dude. It's just so hard to find that, like, I'm trying to figure out the proper hay ration for him, and it's just, like, either too much or not enough. I mean, we are going into winter, but it's still a few months away yet.
He's pretty square, like, he's pretty symmetrical left to right in his shoulders, so that's great.
Yeah.
Shoulder muscle, large.
Booty muscle, extra large.
Booty muscle, that's not on here, I'm gonna add it. I'll start it on the medium setting just to see. And
Okay.
Okay, buddy. Oh, yeah, you're warm. Warm already. That's
And he's. Oh, you're okay.
How do you just do it?
You're gonna really test these elastics, buddy.
Oh yeah, they do. Oh, they're adjustable too.
Okay, that one does work.
Okay. I think there's nothing glaring that's shouting out to me immediately.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good posterior tilt happening in his pelvis, and I'm wondering if he's just holding. He looks like he's just kind of
tight.
maybe in the groin. There is so much muscle.
So he does have the umbilical hernia.
Right.
I forgot about that.
The
so I don't
hernia,
know.
because you said hematoma.
He does. So the umbilical hernia hasn't gotten. Actually, feels pretty tiny now. It hasn't changed since he was little. And then on the other side is the hematoma.
Okay.
But she was saying, the chiro actually said something about how that could just be sometimes when they grow too quickly when they're younger. She said something happens. But when the vet looked at it, they told me it was a hematoma. I asked, does it need to be drained? They said not unless it gets bigger, seems to cause issues. It hasn't changed in like the 3 years since it happened.
Okay.
So it's still kind of just sitting there, but it's just like a blob on his butt.
Okay. If you don't mind, we'll just shift him so that his hind legs are back here and front legs are a little elevated. And that just takes a little bit of the stress off of the psoas. Good man. He is, what's his breed again? Quarter horse. Yeah, quarter horse. They are typically built
From
a
the
little
back.
bit more downhill.
Yeah.
So I just am working him on a little bit of an incline will just help kind of counterbalance that a little bit. I'm thinking, with that palpation reactivity here, the base of the neck where it meets like T1, C7 and T1 can get really torqued. Especially in these breeds that tend to be a little bit more downhill, they can tend to just have a lot of restriction and tension at the base of the neck.
Okay.
Because their spine tends to kind of go on that downward angle and they just bury themselves in the front end. He's not too bad. Like he's pretty balanced for quarters. Like, you see some of them. They look like, teeter-totter.
Yeah.
And he's not too bad. A lot of the time people mistake posture for conformation. And conformation is like the size and the density of the bone that they're born with, right? And like how big and dense their muscles can get, and conformation are how those things are organized in the body, right? How the structure organizes itself, and that's posture, and posture can change. So that's kind of how so if we can get in and sort of release those really tight areas and like loosen up tension in those big junctions, then we can help the structure get into a more healthy alignment. And I'm thinking for him with the trot issue, it's coming from the base of the neck. If they can't get up and out of the way, the hind end has nowhere to go. It's like in body work, one of my favorite body workers calls it like the 12-car pileup. If there's a crash here already and you're trying to send energy from the back, it's like sending cars into a pileup, right? It just jams and jams and jams. So when I hear upward and downward transition problems, I'm like, okay, there's like there's just a...
And his reaction comes from the front too. Like he doesn't buck. Like I know some horses, if they're out in the spine and stuff, they'll buck. And he did kind of more of that butt flicking when the saddle was too small for him. But now it's kind of more of a locks up in the front, throws his head down and flails it around kind of a reaction. So
And you're in a Western...
English.
Oh,
I ride in English.
Okay. I for some reason just figured.
If I had a Western saddle, I would, but I have a treeless and an English. No, I ride him primarily English. So we've been using a dressage saddle the last year.
Okay. Is that something you want me to look at? Were you happy with the fit?
Do you know how you can do fits?
I work for Schlese Saddles.
I do lives with them all the time.
You do?
Yes.
You with Jochen?
Yes.
What? How have I never seen that?
Every month.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm a certified ergonomist, and then
okay.
I also go down to the States once a month.
Oh, that's
I've worked
cool.
in that capacity for them for the last year.
Yeah, him and I chat, like, we have like a live on my Instagram like once a month for like the last year.
Okay, I've probably seen you and just didn't know what your handle. What's your handle?
Rudnik the Roan.
Weird. How did this not?
That's so funny.
That's hilarious.
I was wondering. I was like, how did
that
they do
eval
that?
is from.
Yeah.
That's a Schlese eval, but I use it for bodywork too.
That's so cool. That's my dream saddle.
A Schlese saddle?
Oh yeah, that's my dream saddle. But that's like, you know, like I win the lottery dream saddle.
Yeah. Well, you should try one. I've got there's an entry line now that he's. It's an adjustable entry line. Dressage and jump saddle. Ooh. I mean, entry line, it's $4,000.
That's still better than, I've seen some of their used ones are like 10 and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, on the highest end, they're $10,000 new after tax in Canada. You should try it out sometime then.
That's funny.
Yes, because he is definitely a challenge with his width.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, and that was our last conversation. We have a couple month break right now, but our last one was in July, and we were just chatting because I was telling him the issues that we're having and how I'm trying to figure out the saddle fit and everything. So we were just talking about how, you know, the saddle fits differently and like when they're gaining and losing weight and stuff like that. And I love how they're customized for women too.
Yeah,
That's nice.
It's like, so any saddle can be ridden in by a man or a woman, but certain saddles are very uncomfortable for just women. Like they are built for a man's pelvis because men have 2 points of contact in their pelvis and we have 3. Yeah. And especially like I have conversations with women all over the States. So I have these amazing conversations with women who are dealing with so much stuff in the saddle, right? It's incredible because that's never been an issue for me. I had no idea how many women ride in pain. Yeah. It blows me away. And I'm like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to suffer, you know, like let's.
And I wonder how many stop riding. Yeah. Because of that, right?
Yeah, and don't know that there is a solution. Yeah. Well, he's enjoying this.
Yeah, because I just started riding again. Well, he's almost 8 months old now. So after 12 weeks, I started riding again. Yeah.
Oh, just a freshie.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. So I started riding again after 12 weeks, but I've probably only ridden half a dozen times just because, like, I have to work on my core strength and everything again. But I didn't realize how much your seat would change after having a baby. Everything completely changes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I struggle with wide channels and I struggle with Western saddles. I get in a Western saddle and my hips and my knees like kill me. I can't trail ride. But now I have a Schlesel Western saddle because you can build the seat up so it's narrow, and I'm like,
nice.
That's
one of the reasons growing up I was like, I'm going to English because Westerns were just way too uncomfortable for me. And so like the English is definitely a lot better, but it's still I'm not up on my pelvis enough, or I'm not doing stuff properly to be able to sit in it properly. What are you doing? Do you want to hold that?
But I have the virtual custom fit saddles, which she doesn't have. So I have the ones that you can adjust. Yeah. That don't require a tree press. So anyway, conversation for another day. But if I'm happy to just pop your saddle on.
Yeah, that would be
take
great.
a look at and what have you got?
I got it from Sarah for a couple $100.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've never been able to afford anything that's more than a few hundred. So he always gets hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
So that could also play part into it, as we kind of just take what fits him the best at that time.
Yeah. I work with a lot of people who just don't have the budget, and there's a lot that we can do with shims and pads that are in certain instances. If it's too long, it's a fail automatically because you can't do anything about that. But
that was another reason we actually went with English, was because he's got a very short, or at least maybe he did, I don't know, it might be longer now, very short body. So we had to find a shorter skirt on the Western saddle. Yes. Because it was always hitting into the hip or going over the hip. So that's one reason I was like, hey, English it is.
There aren't too many traditional Western saddles that we will pass when we're out in the field because they're so long. Anyways, this thing is done once it stops blinking. Hey, buddy, you nice and microwaved? Yeah. You feeling pretty good?
Did pretty good with that.
Yeah, okay. Let's just slide it off. Oh, I should probably undo that first. That's helpful.